legitimate talk stylistically about the peekaboo style and Mike Tyson, what he was really doing. The best video ever is one that James Smith did when he actually interviewed him, and in this corner. I think that's his name. Really great boxing journalist, Jim something or other. Anyways, he goes in the ring with them, and Tyson shows all of his secrets, and it's incredible. I mean, other than the head feints, which he didn't demonstrate, which is a big part of it, because the head feinting, nobody talks about it, but that, not just slipping, but the head feinting to set up the slips and to draw the opponent in is a huge part of it. But some stuff that Tyson talked about in the documentary, in the little episode, was keeping his front foot planted. He actually showed how his front foot was planted, and his rear heel was up when he drove off with that shovel hook, which is just like, nobody ever talks about that. Everyone's saying pivot on your front foot, which is totally different than this shot, a completely different shot than your entire body swinging around 135 degrees, your nose going from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and kind of like the classic counter that Freddie Roach taught us that they teach at every boxing school. The shovel hook is much different. You're moving forward, you're moving diagonally inward at the same time on all these different axes. So another thing Tyson discussed besides the shovel hook and those like inside power punches and and the combinations that he used was how he set up light punches really quickly for fast ones, and this kind of like super quick rhythm that he used, but just keeping the first one light, like super light, knock knock, and really landing the second one crisp. And he would do that off of the rear hand too, like just kind of frame. He was talking about kind of framing and bridging with the front hand, but he was talking about doing it with a really light, quick punch. But the punch is literally just has no power behind it. But then the lead hook has all the power. So that one thing he didn't discuss was the slip jab. But that is something that you have to understand Tyson used ad nauseum, because he was all about lead side weapons, meaning that while he was moving his head off line, he'd use this slip jab. And of course, he'd use it on the inside too. And he'd use what they call the Lomachenko shuffle, which is the customado skip step, which is a super useful tool on the inside when you're ripping and dipping and slipping and so forth. So just some little secrets there of the Mike Tyson style. And of course, a lot of trainers, I hate it when they scream at their fighters, move your head. And they don't train that for hours and hours a day. Tyson was training to come in on opponents, to slip inside straight punches and land those combinations. That was his style. So completely different than conventional boxing, the peekaboo style with the shoulders forward, with the hands not here at the chin, but rather up here at the temples, totally almost squared up. The rear shoulder is right behind the front one, but they tell you in any boxing school that's totally wrong. But that was the Tyson style. And like Bas Rutten talks about, having that type of style allows the right hand to just slip right out, and the left hand is already loaded up for power. So you could just load up with your power shots right there. Of course, you're squared up, you're a much bigger target, you're much more exposed. You can move laterally really well, but not forward and back quite as well. So you've got to consider all those things. And of course, Tyson was moving in, using that customado Lomachenko shuffle to literally diamond around and circle around his opponent. So just some little stuff there to think about: the slip jab, the head feints, the lead shovel hooks, those little light combinations to set up the other ones. This is stuff nobody really talks about, which was just quintessential, fundamental, rudimentary parts of Mike Tyson's kind of perfect interpretation in my mind. Because Floyd Patterson, you want to see peekaboo style, I mean, Floyd Patterson does it amazingly well. So many people have that beautiful customado style, but in my mind, Mike Tyson just fought that way 100% of the time, and epitomizes that style. But yeah, you want to check out some other people who do it really well. Look at Jose Aldo, great shovel hook. Like I said, Floyd Patterson, great peekaboo style. Toni Morrison, kind of has that peekaboo style as well.